In 2020, during the prime of COVID, I began to look for ways to make money online, mainly because I was terrified of working some corporate shitty 9 to 5 job for the rest of my life. And I was deeply terrified of being mediocre for the rest of my life. The problem is when I started to look into ways to make money online, I was bombarded by video after video of people telling me to do different things. One guy would tell me to do this business model, one other guy would tell me to do this business model, and it left me with a ton of confusion and next to no progress in anything for over 6 months. Fast forwarding now into 2024, I now run my dream business that I absolutely love doing. I have the most amount of money I've ever had in my life. I moved into my dream spot in Tampa Bay, Florida, and all of my friends run online businesses ranging between $20,000 to $100,000 per month. And we all strategize and network with each other every single day. And in this video, I want to share you the step-by-step process that I went through so that you can take it and literally just apply it to yourself if you're going to take it serious and actually put in the work. So without further ado, let's jump straight into it. The first thing that you need to understand is you need to understand the way that the world actually works, because the reality is the way in which you view the world dictates what you get out of the world. If you think that money is scarce and nobody can be rich and that it's impossible, then you will never get there. If you believe that there's a ton of money in the world and there's so much out there and all you have to do is get a small percentage of it for you to be, and your entire family and your entire bloodline to be successful, all you need is like a tiny percent, then you'll start operating in a way that actually makes it possible for you to get there. Because when you solve the inner game, money comes to you. When you don't, you chase money and you work your ass off and you never end up getting it. And you see, poor people, they believe that they go through life, right? They go through life and things happen to them. And they're just unlucky. And there's unfortunate circumstances, which we all have. But they just think that life happens to them. If you want to get rich, though, you must understand that you are in complete control of everything in your life. If you want success and if you get success, it's your credit. If you don't, it's your fault as well. And so understanding this and realizing this is the first thing that you can do to actually set yourself up and get your head right to be on the track of being successful. And this might not be what you want to hear, but this is what you need to hear. And so what ends up happening is you have beliefs that turn into emotions, that turn into behavior that gets you results, right? So for example, during COVID, this is what most people thought. They were like, COVID sucks. Life is so hard. I'll never get what I want out of life. And so therefore their emotions were sad, depressed, anxious, unmotivated. And their behavior off of that was to go watch TV, play video games, scroll through TikTok, sleep in, eat fast food, and stop working out. And so what that ended up getting in terms of their reality and their results is obviously some pretty bad stuff. Whereas other people, they're like, okay, COVID kind of sucks, but I have a lot of free time now at least. And it's up to me to use this free time and to capitalize on it to get what I want out of life. And so as a byproduct of that, motivated, confident, excited, nervous, determined, their habits turn into reading, watching educational YouTube content, deleting social media, acquiring high value skills, exercising, eating healthy, and much, much more. And so as a byproduct of that, they feel good, they're ripped, they're busy, they're making money online, they're creating businesses, etc. Now, here's the thing. The expectations most people have is that they're just going to go straight from point A to point B. When they try a new business model, they're like, okay, cool. We found drop shipping. I'm motivated, excited. I'm hopeful. I'm going to watch some YouTube videos, set up a website, buy the course. But the problem is there's this massive X and there's this massive hole that happens in terms of getting the actual results, because they end up getting to this point and they're like, oh shit, picking the right product is too hard. It's impossible to go viral. Drop shipping doesn't work. All online gurus are a scam. And so they have these beliefs, which has them having these emotions, which means they just go back to watching TikTok all day and doom scrolling, and then they never make money online and they stay stuck in the matrix. Where the reality is, like, this is the path of being successful. You have all of this cluster and all this crap that you have to sift through. This is the path that 99% of beginners get stuck in somewhere along the line. And at some point along the path, it becomes too difficult for them. It's too complicated. It's too confusing, and they just give up. Now the question becomes, what do the 1% of people that actually find success, what do they do that separates them from everyone else who tries all these business models and just fails over and over and allows them to create generational wealth? Well, it's actually understanding volume. Because with enough volume of anything at any outcome, the outcome is certain. This is why most beginners fail, because they start a business model, they have super high expectations, and then they either fall off and quit, or they do such a small amount of volume that they get no results and then switch to a new business model. So, for example, some people are like, let's go try drop shipping. And they're like, boom, I can make 10K per month. This is going to be super easy. And then they realize that it's actually fucking hard. And then they either fall off or quit. My goal with creating this YouTube channel is to keep my content real, raw, and authentic. And it's not to teach you guys some like crazy, flashy new business model. I'm teaching you guys that this game of business is fucking hard. If you're playing this game to feel good or to be comfortable or to just make money so you can go sit on the beach all day, just leave. Because the reality is you're literally competing with thousands of people's bank accounts. This game is not fucking easy. And you should be tired of playing this game small. You can't play this game small. If you play this game small, you'll get crushed by everyone else. This game is survival mode. And if you were looking for food right now, let's just say you were starving, you had no money, no food. It's back in the 1800s where you had to go hunt for your food. If you were looking for food right now, or you were going to die, would you take 10 steps and then take a break? No, you'd die. You have to go hunt your food down. But the problem is most people operate in their businesses like this. They do 10 outreach and then they have to go scroll on their phone for 5 minutes. Or they do this and then they have to take a break. How do you make success inevitable? How do you actually be successful? It's simple. You want to succeed? Take your goal, 10x it, and then more importantly, 10x the amount of actions that you think it will take to get to that goal. And this will make it impossible to fail. So if you think it's going to take this amount of effort right here to get to 10K per month, you multiply that effort by 10 and you start thinking that it's going to take you a lot of effort to get there. And you'll be surprised when you actually get there faster now because you have the right expectations. Okay. Step 3 is choosing the right vehicle. And this is just as important because it doesn't matter how hard you row in a broken boat. So what does this actually mean? What is this like? What am I actually talking about? Well, let's just say you were trying to get across the ocean and you have this boat versus this boat. The ocean, getting across the ocean is just a metaphor for you hitting 10K per month, let's just say. Well, if you're in this shitty little boat, you can row as hard as possible, but you're not going to get anywhere because there's holes, it's leaky, and it's not just going to work very well. And then you have this boat over here that the machine actually does most of the work for you. All you literally need to do is steer it in the right direction. Well, what ends up happening is you try to drive this leaky boat. You attempt to like shortcut the process by not building as good of a boat to cross the river as fast as possible with a leaky boat. You try to go across quick, but then you get stuck halfway across and you end up dying and drowning. This is what most people do with business models like dropshipping. You try dropshipping, you try to make fast money, you don't build any real valuable skills. You get a few weeks in and you realize you're way over your head and you give up. However, this person over here, they play the longer game. They decide to actually spend more time up front building their boat, building the foundation so that they can cross the river. And then they cross it with ease once it's built. You pick a business model like info product sales versus drop shipping that builds the most important skill any business needs, which is sales. And you start building your foundations right. You have the right expectations. You stick to it for over a year and you do enough volume. And then you hit 10K per month and you hit it quickly and easily. And it almost seems like it was easy compared to all these other people that just get stuck in this process. Well, your goal should be playing the long game, which is 1 to 3 years. The fast ways to make money online, the ways that you can make 10K per month in the next 30 days, 60 days, are the same ways that can crumble just as fast. Guys, if you want to make fast money, go gamble. Go trade stocks. You can make a lot of money really quickly, but the problem is you can lose it all just as fast. You shouldn't be after making millions right out of the gate. And I can't emphasize this enough. Give yourself a longer period of time to make the money you want to make. And as a byproduct of that, it'll increase drastically the likelihood that you actually do it. You shouldn't be going after making millions right out of the gate. You should be going after building skill sets. This is what most people don't do wrong. And if you understand this, you'll get a massive edge over everyone else that doesn't understand these principles. And so when you end up starting info product sales, where you're focused on building skill sets, not necessarily making money now like a freaking rat, it doesn't require a massive startup cost. It doesn't require years of previous experience to be successful with it. And it has the long-term potential to grow every single year, not every single month. Don't get me wrong, but every single year as you get better. Allows you to take home commission, which is essential to being financially free because you get rewarded for being good. And this is what you need to do. And so when you end up starting info product sales, then it becomes a race to get to 5 to 10K per month, where you are like almost at financial freedom. Okay. So it's basically a race to get to 5 to 10K per month working inside of your position. Whatever you got to do, you figure it the fuck out. You work like a fucking dog, bro. That's what it's going to take, bro. And it's not necessarily what you want to hear, but it's what you need to hear. If you need to, you work 2 positions. The race from 0 to 10K per month is harder than going from 10K to 100K per month. I'm not at 100K per month yet, but it's not difficult really to get there. It's just going to take me some time. And now the reason why I can get to 100K per month is because I actually have money that I can use as leverage, right? Whereas in 0 to 10K per month, you don't have a lot of money. So you have to kind of just like work harder. That's just the unfortunate reality until you have enough money to be able to allocate that money to speed up the process. Because again, 10K to 100K, it's not as difficult. Even though it's 10 times as much money, you actually have money to your advantage and you can kind of use that to speed up the process. And so then step 5 is going to be scaling to financial freedom. Once you figure it out, you get scrappy, you get to 5 to 10K per month. Then now we actually have to talk about scaling, where depending on if you've developed some sort of expertise that you're passionate about, this is where you can start one of the following business models. And remember what I talked about earlier with the whole like boat analogy? Well, this applies here too, because these vehicles and what I'm talking about in this step are the vehicles that are going to take you to 100K to $1 million a month. Whereas info product sales, as awesome as it is, it's something designed to get you to 10K per month, not 100K per month. Okay. Does that make sense? Hopefully it does. Well, these are the 2 business models that are designed to get you to that point. You have an agency where you can leverage yourself out of your info product sales position, get a case study, work with multiple clients and help them and rinse and repeat the process. I have students that I work with that do this right now. Or you have starting your own info product, which I have students that are doing this right now and they're scaling. You can take the skills that you've been learning and you go and teach other people, or you use prior life experience or skills to start some sort of info product business. And if you don't have a business that comes to your mind when you think of this stuff yet, that's okay, because you're probably not even close to getting to step 5 yet. You have to go through step 1 through 4 first, but step 5 is pretty straightforward. And this is really like the blueprint, guys. Like if you follow this to a T, you will make it in the next 3 to 5 years. Again, fix your self-limiting beliefs, start understanding that you need to do a crap ton of volume to get to where you want to be, pick the right vehicle, and then focus on getting to the point where you're actually maximizing the money that you can inside of that vehicle, and then pick a new vehicle and get to the next level. And then just keep doing that to the next level. Now, here's the thing. I've hopefully given you enough in this video to go out and just try this on your own. Like, hopefully this was valuable and you can just straight up use this on your own, and feel free to do that if you like. But there's one thing that you must remember, because remember when we talked about earlier in the presentation, it's very easy to start to make some progress, but then just fall off. And it can be kind of like complicated for most beginners. Well, this can actually be solved more efficiently when you do 2 things. Number 1 is when you work with a mentor. And the reason why is because it's simple. If you were to work with me, I've already gone through the process of going from 0 to 10K per month and even further beyond that. And I already know the issues and the places that you can fall into, and the stuff that you're thinking, and the problems that might arise, and the difficulties and the hurdles. And I can help you preemptively avoid that stuff so you can have a more straight path across, like here, versus something like this if you try it on your own. And the reality is as well, what's just as valuable as hiring a mentor is being in a tight-knit community of other people who are going down the same exact process, because you can actually learn from their mistakes as well. And what I'm presenting to you guys here is an opportunity to do both of those things. You can actually work with me one on one as your mentor, where I can help you hold your hand through the entire process of going from 0 to 10K per month. But also, you're going to be in a community of other young men. We already have, I think, like 25 or so. It's like, again, a pretty tight knit group. We have about 25 other guys who are going through this process. And so the advantage of that is, obviously you can come to me and ask me questions and I'm going to be able to help you out. But also, you can literally see the insides of other people's businesses who are already making even just 2K, but also 5K, 10K per month. And you can help, like, you can see the ins and outs of how they actually do their stuff. So you can just copy it and model it yourself. So if you'd be interested in potentially exploring that, what you can do is you can book a call with myself for the next time that I'm available. And you and I can jump on, we can have a discussion, and we can see if I can actually even help you based on where you're at. And if I can, I'll point you in the right direction with a ton of free training. If I can, we can talk about getting started and I can show you how to change your life working with a mentor and joining a tight knit community. But other than that, hopefully you guys enjoyed this video. Hopefully you got some value, and you guys take care and have a fantastic rest of your day.